What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Monday, July 3rd, 2023. Hope you're having a good day off or PTO day or whatever you might be doing. Getting ready for the big fireworks show. You guys doing it Monday, or some people are doing it on Tuesday. Who knows? But so today we are talking transfer portal players. We haven't talked about these guys. They don't get enough attention, in my opinion. Oh, one note, Marquise Lightfoot is committing today at 5 on the rush hour. We will be staying up late on the rush hour, and we're going to go past 5 just to see Marquise Lightfoot's commitment. So tune in at 4:30. We'll be getting fired up for that, and then we'll discuss afterwards. So 4:30 p.m. Eastern, by the way. So let's talk transfer portal impact players, offense and defense. We've got 8 guys here. Which transfer will make the biggest impact on the 2023 season? Buckeyes needed to fill some holes in the roster. That was obvious. So went out to the portal this spring, picked up 8 dudes. Starting off, most important position is quarterback, but Tristan Gebbia won't be playing that position. Ryan Day wants to have 4 scholarship players in the quarterback room at all time. So he went out and got a veteran from Oregon State. Tristan Gebbia began his career at Nebraska and attempted over 200 passes in 5 years. So he comes in, provides veteran presence in the room. He wants to be a coach eventually, so he gets to come in, use his 7th year of eligibility, literally his 7th year. Yeah, I said that, to work with Coach Day and the offensive staff. So kind of getting started, getting his feet wet in the coaching profession early. He will not have an impact on the season. If he does, we're in big freaking trouble, man. So anyway, moving on. Offensive line. Victor Cutler Jr. Cutler had a good spring at center, running with the 2s. Got adjusted to practicing at an Ohio State level, much different from Louisiana Monroe, to be sure. So he was in a tight competition with redshirt freshman Carson Hinsman for the starting center job. Cutler has experience at center, but spent last season starting at left tackle for ULM. He will add depth behind Hinsman and Jacob James and probably other positions, maybe on the interior guard or whatever. But since he does have experience at tackle, I don't think he's big enough, though. I don't see him moving out there. So I would say he's an interior guy. But he most likely will have little to no impact because he's going to be behind Hinsman. And Jacob James was actually penciled in as the starting center going into spring, but was out with an injury. So Cutler got the entire reps with the ones. Moving on to O-lineman Josh Simmons, transferred in from San Diego State after spring ball. Started at right tackle for San Diego State as a redshirt freshman. Did not allow a sack or a quarterback hit in the last 4 games for the Aztecs. The Buckeyes brought him in to compete for the starting right tackle job, but nothing was promised. You got to keep that in mind. Of course, when anytime you bring in one of these transfer dudes, they're not promised shit. You know, they got to go out there, earn it, compete, and let the chips fall where they may. You know, he is probably not a starter over Tegra or Zen. Probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the coaches talk about him in camp this fall, but I think he may need that adjustment period as just like Vic Cutler did, getting adjusted to an Ohio State practice, not the same as San Diego State, right? I'm not just talking about the weather and the palm trees either. So he has Simmons adds much needed depth to the tackle position, which you got to keep this in mind. There are 0 career starts at both tackle positions, left and right. So he adds experience, if nothing else, right? So I think he has a major impact. Even if he's not the starter, he will be in the 2 deep at one of the tackle positions, if not both. So I think he has a major impact. Let's move on. Taiwan Malone, the D tackle, the big man coming in from Ole Miss. 315. Man, he's a big dude. Committed to the Buckeyes in May. Spent 2 years at Ole Miss. Played a total of 104 snaps in 2 seasons. Not a lot. Not a lot to go on with him. Not a lot of stats put up by him. But he adds depth behind Ty Hamilton, Michael Hall, and Tyleek. So Malone will probably see the field a lot in the second team rotation. Assuming he's in shape and everything, you got to assume so. Coming from a Power 5 program like an Ole Miss, you got to assume he can give you some reps. So he's shown an ability to disrupt plays against the pass. Push that pocket, get up in a quarterback's face, get his hands up. But he also has a big body to eat up double teams in the run game, which is a D tackle's job, right? Be a space eater and not just cheeseburgers. So focusing on just football and not baseball will definitely help his football development. So he's finally taking one sport and taking it seriously. So I believe he will have a major impact here as well in the depth, in the 2 deep probably. So next up, cornerback Davison Igbinosun. Love this guy's swagger. Buckeyes allowed 994 yards passing in the final 3 games last year. That's 331 yards per game, right? They had to make a move. There was no 2 ways about it. He's 6'2", 203. Igbinosun was a top 200 recruit in the class of 2022. Finished his freshman season with 37 tackles, 5 pass breakups. The Buckeyes lost Cam Brown and J.K. Johnson, obviously. But what I love about Igbinosun is he's got those long arms. He's got the length, obviously, at 6'2". Allows him to be physical. He can get up, jam a dude at the line of scrimmage without putting his whole body into it and getting out of position. He's got size, athleticism, and that swagger, confidence, man. It's huge. A lot of guys go out there, but they don't have that confidence. He's got that, and he's a competitor. He's a fighter. So he brings that to the room, which is so important and very much needed. I believe he should be in the corner rotation week 1. If they rotate 3, whatever. I don't think he will bench Hancock necessarily unless there's an injury or something again. But I think he has a huge impact on this defense in all the ways I just mentioned. So looking for Iggy to go off. Lorenzo Styles, the other corner that came in, we kind of forgot about him. It was very late in the spring/summer. 4-star prospect out of Pickerington, of course. He's the junior of Lorenzo Styles Sr. Played both sides of the ball in high school. Listed at 6'1", 182, so he's got a little length. Coming out of South Bend, transferring in. Hartline told him in high school that he was a better corner than receiver, but kid didn't want to listen. Chose Notre Dame as a wide receiver. Boom. 2 years later, you're back here. He moved to corner actually in the spring at Notre Dame before entering the portal. So right now, he should not have much impact. We got 4 corners with size and experience that we should be able to lean on, barring another catastrophe of injury decimating the room. But Burke, Hancock, Igbinosun, and don't forget Jair Brown had a ton of reps last year. So not much impact for Lorenzo Styles Jr. Next up, safety Jihad Carter, transferred in from Syracuse, had a good spring, dinged up his knee late in spring. Nothing lingering there. That injury is 100% healed. Buckeyes had issues at safety last season. There's no 2 ways about it, not just corner, in the passing game. He offers versatility. And Perry Eliano loves safeties who can play all 3 spots, as does Jim Knowles. He can play the nickel, the bandit, the adjuster, all of them. Has done it at the Power 5 level. He has a skill set to play any of them. Had 3 picks last year at Syracuse, and then 5 in his 3 years there. Probably going to be the slot corner, nickel, safety, whatever we're calling it this week. The guy that lines up on the slot receiver, we'll call him that. So probably going to be that dude. He's tough, can tackle, not afraid to come down and help and run support too. So I believe he has a major impact. Him and Cam Brown are battling for that slot position. So he's definitely in the 2 deep there immediately, if not the starter. So major impact as well. You notice like half of these guys are going to have major impact, at least. Not this guy, though. Last guy, Casey Magyar, a kicker, spent the 2021 season at Kent State. I'm not sure what he did last year. Anyway, Parker Lewis and Jaden Fleming are probably going to share the kicking duties. Fielding being your kickoff guy. He seemed to be fine with that last year. Parker Lewis, probably your field goal guy, a transfer 2 years ago from USC. So, and Casey here has not attempted a field goal in college. So this is not going to be your gear to start that shit. So 0 impact. Sorry, kicker. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. You guys have a good one. Be safe out there. Have a shot on me. All right. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.